Hey,
Akoma.
Akoma, and welcome everybody. It's Montsho and Nwasha, international relationship strategists that simplify love relationships for blacks in leadership who want healthy, happy, harmonious relationships without wasting time in counseling, without sacrificing their work or losing their sense of self. Today we're here to really talk about something that is clear in our industries, our professional industries, in our maintenance at home, our family life, even down to our bodies. But for some reason, it gets lost in translation with relationships, and that is maintenance, upkeep. How do you continue to make love work? How do you make it last forever, as Keith Sweat would say? How do you keep it going and stay at a high level of the art and science of Black love culture? What do you say, Nwasha?
We were just talking about this
Right.
yesterday,
Right.
saying that relationships are not supposed to be hard, right?
Right.
We're overwhelmed in this space, especially for Black people, because of the challenge, the trauma, the story that gets thrown around that we're battling, that we're having this kind of gender war that's very public, very personal, and it's very real for some of us. And I think that what we have lost, especially for Black people in the diaspora, we've lost the tone, the culture, the passing down of information and wisdom from our elders that would have relationship maintenance be natural.
Right.
I mean, it is natural, but to be natural and normal, as we often say.
Right.
So it's a really interesting category of life, because I think in America, what we were talking about yesterday, this is a space where we are preoccupied with what we do for a living, with how we are producing, with what material things we have to show for our work. And in that preoccupation, we know, as you were alluding to, that we have to do better, right? We have to, read a book, learn a thing, we have to somehow do the maintenance in our career, or the maintenance in our profession, or the maintenance with our customer. We might actually be selling maintenance to our customer. But when it comes to the intimate relationship, I think that's very, personal, we deeply desire to soothe our trauma. We then move to, it's so personal, so private, that it should just work by magic because I need this thing
Right,
to
right.
soothe my trauma or to bring me peace. I'm looking for peace so much, of course, because there's so much unrest that in my relationship, I just don't have the room, and I don't know where to go, and I don't even know that it's necessary or that it's called for me to constantly be growing. I think this is a space where we want the honeymoon phase to never end, the dream of the beginning and all the hope and aspiration. I think it's a space where that holds us over for a very long time, or we want it to hold us over for a long time. It doesn't in actuality.
I think a lot of people do want to reset the honeymoon stage, so they just keep becoming a serial monogamous, proclaiming that they really want love. But every time we get to the part that is not on automatic, which is that beginning phase of the excitement of getting to know each other, how do we maintain the fulfillment that the early part of the relationship builds? And so, it's something that we can relate to, being married for 25 years and working with thousands of people in 16 countries around the world, Black people who have our unique challenges. And really, those of us that are leaders, those of us that are achievers, those of us that are successful in our lives, we're very smart people. A lot of us are self-made people, and we freeze and disengage when the pathway to make it last isn't right in front of our face. And a lot of times I think we project that, I'm still on task, something just happened to you and you are the wrong person.
I do see
so
that.
we try to change people out. But if you think about it, one of the two things that really make the difference, the difference that makes the difference is, first, you have to change your beliefs about relationship maintenance. This is a big problem because, you believe that your car won't function well unless you maintenance it every 90 days or every 3,000 miles or whatever it is. You believe that your body won't stay fit if you don't maintenance it by proper diet, rest, and exercise. You believe that your home or your property or your business ventures will not flourish if you don't maintenance it. But in the relationship, we have a fairy tale and superhero belief that if we just choose the right person and pick the right person, then we don't have to do, we don't have to do anything else. And we can tell you, as a couple, married 25 years, blended family dynamic, 6, 7 children, moving around, working in industry together. If you don't have maintenance, you're not going to make it.
Yeah,
you know.
I think that, what's really interesting is that with those examples that you gave, a lot of times, even if we don't know what's wrong, we know that we need maintenance, right? So sometimes if you're just not feeling well, if you want to lose 40 pounds, if you're not sleeping, because we know that when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a thought leader, when you're the CEO, a lot of times you can go without those things too, right? Without eating well, without resting, because you're in this kind of grind mode. I think that really exacerbates the relationship problems, because you want to relax and go in and get the reprieve from the not sleeping and the grind. And, for some reason, when we have a problem in relationships, we don't think it's about maintenance.
Right.
So even when going to counseling, it's more about trauma or problems. Or
it's about problem correction, problem solving, instead of maintenance.
And typically, we're going to talk about the problem of our partner. So this is just again the style,
right?
Especially of Americans, that I don't have a problem. My problem is you.
Right.
Like, I don't have a problem.
Our problem is the way you act in the relationship.
And
that's what the problem is, right?
We're looking to say, because we're looking externally, because we are looking materially, we're looking at our partner more than we look at ourselves.
Right.
And that's like literally and figuratively.
Right.
That we're looking at this person saying, okay, this is the problem. So I'm not looking at you as just having a problem. Like, if I say that my car is a problem, I'm getting rid of it. Mm-hmm. This is what some people say. My body's a problem, I'm getting rid of it. Like, we have this kind of microwave. There's a solution.
Don't get rid of your body.
Well, people cut things off and add to things because they're saying that something was wrong, right? Instead of the maintenance, right? So there are some people who are gonna go to the gym or, look for a fitness plan or a food plan. But even in those things that we acknowledge we need the maintenance for, we're not necessarily successful in this country because of our mindset and the way we approach everything. So you might go to the gym, you might have a gym membership, but not go to the gym, because the idea of, I just gotta go to the gym for 30 days. Like, a lot of times we're kind of sold this idea of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days.
Hacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so in the idea of maintenance, if we don't see the material return, like, I'm going to up-level my career with a degree, I'm going to, network 100 times, like, I'll have 100 contacts and that should give me the promotion, or, like that. Relationships don't have that kind of turnover because we're not taught about the rewards of relationships. So that maintenance that you're doing, saying everything is good with my car, everything is good with my body, everything is good with my relationship. We know as counselors, people come to us sometimes and have said, well, it's not that bad. And this is the challenge, because we don't believe in maintenance. We're comparing what is not that bad. The bad is the worst of the worst of the worst.
Right. We compare ourselves
so if it's not domestic
to the worst
abuse,
of the worst.
If it's not theft, if it's not,
verbal
infidelity,
abuse,
whatever it is that someone has as their deal breaker, then we almost don't believe that we should still be doing some maintenance. So, like for us, we said, hey, we need to have a date challenge, a date night challenge. And this is summer season coming up, and we're focusing on doing the 52 date challenge, and we're also kicking off, right, with the Black Love School Q&A on the date night challenge. But that is a maintenance plan. That's a maintenance strategy.
Right.
That if you work out, and the plan is to work out every day to get some movement, but you only do it 5 days, you're maintaining. If the plan is to work out and you never do it, or you keep starting over, or you're just paying for the gym membership, then that's not actually maintenance.
Right.
That is the demonstration that you think that, yes, maintenance is relevant, but I'm not making it relevant for me.
Right.
And this is something that I think we see when we're plagued with all the challenges that we have, but that Black people have more in
Right.
this country, whether it is wealth, diet, trauma, the no restoration to our relationship challenges, which when all of them were not initiated by us.
Right.
So we are battling in the gender war about whose fault it is, who should go first in the maintenance, what maintenance even, and we're not using the term maintenance, but what it should even look like to be in,
Right.
in the proper relationship. Right. And that's because we don't have the guidance from our elders. And this is sometimes because they didn't know what to do. And sometimes because we're not listening, right? Because the dominant culture is raising us. The oppressive culture is raising us. That tells us you can buy hacks. You can, somehow hack maintenance. You can get a tummy tuck. You can get a boob lift. You can get Botox.
But you're not strengthening the muscle under there.
Right,
you're just...
You know that you don't have to drink the water.
You're just changing the surface level.
Skin treatment.
Yeah.
Like you just almost say, I don't have to do the maintenance. You know what I mean? Because there's a way around it. And I think that is subconscious lesson. You know? Like it's because we're fronting like, how much money do we really spend going to school in America? When sometimes we know with higher level degrees that it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's not.
It doesn't guarantee freedom.
Right.
It guarantees you a higher level slavery.
And it's we're doing it transactionally. So even when it comes to the professional development that we do for maintenance of our job, sometimes you have to stay abreast if you're taking care of someone's health, if you're a nurse or a doctor or you work in IT, you got to stay abreast, right? But a lot of people approach professional development with a laissez-faire, I'm just going through the motions.
Right.
So I sat here for my 4 hours,
continuing
my 8
education
hours,
credits.
and now I got my certificate that means that I am doing the maintenance. But a lot of times, and I'm saying this as a trainer, right? As we also do corporate relationship work, right? We know that sometimes after the professional development, there's no task for you to go and show that you actually
developed,
that you developed and can use this new skill or this new level of reminder or this new practice. What happens is you collect your credits, you get proof of it, and then that's what ends up being submitted. That yes, I fulfilled this amount.
I attended.
Right, yeah. I attended, and this is how we are in our relationship.
I was in the restroom for half of the workshop, but I attended, and I got my credit, right? So,
and even if you're all in, I think it's so interesting because I have been in professional development in my career, in like my corporate career, and I've also taught the professional development. And what I know from being a participant and the leader is, even when it's amazing, what happens is it's very much like a counseling session.
It's no way to track it.
It's closed, right? So in this closed environment with the leader and with you, you're practicing and you're doing it and you're like, yes, this is a light bulb. When you actually go back into your environment, a lot of businesses don't know how to close the loop and say, hey, this thing that we got in professional development that you got here, you got there. The most I have seen is reporting what you got and reporting how it could be useful. But the maintenance is 3 months later, are we using it? 6 months
measuring
later,
the metrics.
what was the use? 8 months later, should we do it again? 9, 10, 12 months later, what shouldn't we do from this? How did it not work, right? And that's what doesn't help in our relationship. When we go to counseling and we blame or we, rehash the trauma or we don't come out with a plan that is tangible and daily or measurable in any kind of way, then we say, this is what people tell us. I went to counseling. Or what people say? I tried counseling.
Right.
That's the key word.
The idea is the work is attendance. The work is showing up. The work is not the work. So we want to both tie this for you. For professionals, for entrepreneurs, C-suite, people who are movers and shakers. We don't just want to shake, we want to move the needle, right? So we want to be movers, not just shakers, right? So this comes down to 3 metrics that you can take away from this. 1, we have to change our beliefs, and we have a system that will help you change beliefs, negative limiting beliefs, and then nurture the liberating beliefs that you need to maintain. So we got to change our beliefs about what maintenance is for and what even coaching and counseling is for. Yes, counseling is supposed to heal problems, but coaching is really about maintaining performance, and that's what we're talking about. We understand this in our industries. We understand this in our lives. We understand this with our machineries, even our devices. We understand that. In relationships, we don't understand it, and it comes down to the first metric, beliefs. We have to change beliefs. Eliminate negative ones and install the positive ones. Number 2, we have to develop specific skill specificity, like in your industry, if you're in law, if you're in politics, if you're in futures, investments, whatever you're in, education, you have skill specificity to be at a high level. So we want to teach you the skill specificity, and we outline what are the 7 core skills, what we call the Super 7 soulmate skills that are going to help you. So that's number 2. Number 3, you have to have systems. You have to implement systems that will make this process smooth and almost unthinkable for you. It becomes instinctive when you have systems that kind of make it go. When you turn on your car, there's a lot of systemic interplay happening, but you just know, put in the key, turn it, and now I can drive. So all the things that are happening under the hood and in the body of the car, you're not necessarily concerned until there's a problem. But you do know that in order to keep it going, there's all kind of checks and balances, like the gas meter is telling you you're getting low on gas, or the dash is giving you all kind of readouts, or you at least know that every 3,000 miles or so, I'm going to change my oil, inflate my tires, etc., etc.
But I think that's a good point, because some things are daily, maybe like doing the gas. Some things are every 3,000 miles. Some things might be an annual check for the weather of the tires. And that's several different styles of maintenance and several different systems that you're tapping into. Right.
So that's what you need. 1, beliefs. 2, skills. 3, systems. And we can help you to implement these, to understand these dynamics and implement them, and show you how to make the relationship maintenance a instinctive, ongoing, fulfilling experience, so that you can have a happy, healthy, harmonious relationship. You don't got to waste a lot of time in so-called traditional counseling that is just going to help you pour out your feelings and not really move the needle. It'll shake things up, but it doesn't move the needle. You don't have to sacrifice the career and the livelihood that you've built over years. And most importantly, you do not have to lose your sense of self. And this is individually who you are as a person, because you're going to be distinctively unique and different from your partner. But also, what is very important for our people as we rise back to our position of the parent people of humanity and that leadership position, you do not have to sacrifice your cultural sense of self. No code switching, no doing it the way Johnny does it. We're going to show you how to do it that way, and we're going to make it simple so it's fluid, effective, efficient, and elegant. If you're interested, click this link and let's begin to build the love legacy that you can be proud of and that you can maintain through the cycles of your life and love. So as always, we're greeting you in peace. It's Montsho and Nwasha. And as always, we say,
Ni Akoma.
Ni Akoma.